Thank you, Senator. Senator Ossoff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and greetings to our panel. Congratulations on your nominations. Thank you for being with us today. Ms. Gupta, Black Americans continue to experience persistent targeting, harassment, profiling, discrimination, brutality throughout the criminal justice system. You will have in your portfolio as Associate Attorney General many components of DOJ with civil rights and law enforcement related jurisdiction. How will you use your authorities, if you're confirmed, to make equal justice for all a reality in this country? And can you please be as specific as possible?
Sure. Thank you, Senator. As you may know, my whole career has been spent on civil rights and civil rights enforcement and on the very values that you're talking about. And at the Justice Department, from its founding through my experience of heading up the Civil Rights Division, I was tasked with overseeing the very vigorous enforcement of all of the nation's federal civil rights statutes in the areas of lending, voting, educational equity. As soon as I start to do this, I start to forget the many, many federal laws. But the Civil Rights Division enforces dozens and dozens of federal laws, and it is communities around the country bank on rigorous enforcement to ensure in combating an end to discrimination. And it's something that I am very personally committed to.
Thank you, Ms. Gupta. And Ms. Monaco, in the same vein, in the position you may hold of Deputy Attorney General, can you be specific about how you'll prioritize investigations of cases involving color of law violations under 18 U.S.C. 242, as well as working potentially with Ms. Gupta, pattern or practice investigations pursued by the Civil Rights Division? We just marked the first anniversary of the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery in Glenn County, Georgia, a case where local authorities declined to pursue an investigation until they were under immense pressure from civil rights groups. This week will mark the first anniversary of the shooting death of Breonna Taylor, a woman in Louisville, Kentucky, who was killed during the execution of a no-knock warrant of which she was not a subject. Not asking you to comment on those specific cases, but asking you to weigh in on color of law as well as pattern or practice investigations.
Certainly, Senator. Well, in the first instance, I think the goal ought to be to do everything we can to ensure that those tragedies don't happen to begin with. And that starts with doing everything the Justice Department can to assist state and local police departments to get the training they need, to get the technical assistance they need, to do constitutional policing and address the challenges in their communities in a way that builds trust. And so I would look to the work of the Justice Department's grant-making programs, the COPS office, again, which would come under in the first instance under the purview of Ms. Gupta if she's confirmed, and similarly the appropriate use of pattern and practice investigations, which, after all, of course, are a tool that Congress has provided to the Justice Department to address and investigate unconstitutional conduct. That is a profound responsibility that the Justice Department has to undertake. It is an important tool. It needs to be used judiciously and appropriately and subject to measurements and outcomes, but it is one that is provided by the Congress to address unconstitutional conduct, and it's one that we can and should use, and it's something that I know Ms. Gupta has done in her prior experience and would be perfectly suited to lead that work in the first instance.
Thank you. Ms. Monaco, in Georgia and nationwide, we've seen a significant increase in violent crime over the last year. We had, for the second weekend in a row in Atlanta, Georgia, more than a dozen shootings last weekend. 13 wounded, 1 killed. In Columbus, Georgia, in Georgia's Chattahoochee River Valley, recently had a period of 12 days with 6 shooting deaths, 46 homicides in Columbus, Georgia last year, by far the highest total in at least half a decade. Will you work with my office and this committee to determine the causes of this violent crime wave, which has many Georgians and many Americans deeply concerned about community violence, community safety, and work with this committee to address it?
Yes, Senator, the issue of this spiking violent crime is something you and I think virtually every other member of this committee who I've talked to in advance of this hearing have raised with me, and what you're seeing it do to the communities you represent. The first priority of the Justice Department is public safety, and so addressing violent crime, the causes of it, the enterprises that fuel it is absolutely a top priority of the Justice Department, and it's something that, if I'm confirmed, I very much would look forward to working with you on.
Thank you, Ms. Monaco. Ms. Gupta, if confirmed, you'll oversee the Antitrust Division as well. And at a moment when many markets are already intensely concentrated, and when we may see, due to increased economic growth and all the liquidity that's been added to financial markets in the last few years, an increase in merger activity in certain industries, what are some of the mechanisms by which corporate actors seek to influence the Department of Justice when it's making determinations about antitrust matters, and how can we insulate and how can you insulate the department from those influences so the public interest is put above all?
Well, I know that the career men and women that are at the Justice Department take very seriously the need to be absolutely independent from any lobbying advocacy in that way. Yes, the Justice Department officials meet with stakeholders, but they take a degree of pride that is frankly quite incredible around the enforcement free from partisan, corporate, political, improper motivation in the robust enforcement of federal laws. And I know the Antitrust Division career lawyers very much adhere to the same beliefs and value set. And if I am confirmed, I, along with Ms. Monaco and Judge Garland, hopefully as Attorney General, would do everything we can in our power every day to ensure that the Justice Department is beholden to no one but the Constitution and federal laws.
Thank you, Ms. Gupta. Thank you, Ms. Monaco. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator